Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you? I hope all of you guys in a good condition right now. This video is to fulfill the English and Text for reality course for a class in the 6th semester. We are from Sapan's group, and me and my partners will be explained about compound and complex sentence. But before that, let me introduce myself first. My name is Rahma Haryanti, and my partners are Hairi Rahmat and Hari Gumilang. But Hari Gumilang cannot join us in explaining this material because he said that he is sick and will be doing surgery in the next few days in Surabaya because he has a problem in his throat. Let us pray for him that he will be healed. Okay, let's go back to the topic. In English, the types of the sentences are divided into three, namely simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. In this video, I will explain with English and with bahasa. Dalam bahasa Indonesia sendiri, kita mengenal jenis-jenis kalimat tersebut. The simple sentence itu kalimat tunggal, compound sentence itu kalimat majemuk setara, dan complex sentence adalah kalimat majemuk bertingkat. So, what is compound sentence actually? A compound sentence is made by joining with two or more independent clauses together that have related ideas of equal importance, separated with one of the following conjunctions. Jadi, compound sentence itu adalah sebuah kalimat yang setidaknya terdiri dari dua induk kalimat atau independent clause yang dihubungkan dengan sebuah conjunction. Independent clause ini dapat berdiri sendiri. Nah, let's go to the example. I drink green tea, but they drink coffee. Nah, jadi contoh ini adalah compound sentence atau kalimat majemuk setara yang mana I drink green tea itu juga induk kalimat atau inti kalimat, dan they drink coffee itu juga sebuah kalimat yang dapat berdiri sendiri. Nah, kedua klausa ini dihubungkan dengan tanda koma. Kemudian conjunctionnya atau kata hubungnya itu but. Let's go to the conjunction of the compound sentence. There are two types conjunction of the compound sentence, coordinating conjunction and then correlative conjunction. The first one is coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction, which is usually used to connect the independent clause in making compound sentence, is for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These words commonly called with fanboys, to help you remember it easily. These words functioned as the connectors in the sentence. Next is the use of coordinating conjunction. The first is for. For is a conjunction that used to indicate reason with meaning because. For example, Rahmah wants to buy special gift for her friend's birthday. And then and nor is used to express the word no with the meaning not really. For example, he didn't answer my calls, nor did he respond to any of my texts. Dia tidak menjawab telepon saya, dan dia tidak juga menjawab pesan saya. And the next is but. I'm sure that you know the example of but, or, and so. So here I will explain for, nor, and yet. Okay, the next is yet. Yet is a conjunction that used to express contradiction with the meaning even so. For example, he is angry with me, yet he still smile to me. Dia marah pada saya, walaupun demikian dia tetap senyum pada saya. When you use the fanboys conjunction in the sentence, don't forget to put a comma before the fanboys conjunction. As you can see in the example, for Rahma wants to buy special gift, comma, for her friend's birthday. The second one is correlative conjunction. Correlative conjunction is also known as favorite conjunction that used to connect two words, phrases, or clauses. That words, phrases, or clauses connected must be parallel or have the same grammatical structure. For example, noun is paired with noun, verb is paired with verb, and adjective is paired with adjective. The next is the use of correlative conjunction. There are both and, not only but also, either or and neither nor. If it used to connect two subjects, the verb that follows must be plural. For example, both my sister and my brother go to the zoo. The second example, if used to connect two subjects, the verb that follows is determined by the last subject or the subject that closest to the verb. Not only my sister, but also my parents are here. And then when used to connect two words or phrases or clauses, the two words, phrases or clauses must be equivalent. For example, I will take either chemistry or physics next semester. Both verbs are in the same tenses, which is noun, and with the same structure. Chemistry is kimia, and physics is fisika. And then the last example, that book is neither interesting nor accurate. The next is about joining the independence clauses in a compound sentence. In a compound sentence, the independence clauses are joined using one of the following methods. Using comma, semicolons, colons, and a dash. I put the example of it in the PowerPoint above. Comma, it is as usual, and then semicolons, the master, comma, age 81, semicolons, the servants. It is like explained. Actually, semicolons have 4 uses, and the first one is to separate list items, untuk memisahkan kalimat yang ada komanya. Kemudian kita ingin menjelaskan daripada subjek itu, kita bisa menggunakan semicolons. And then about colons atau titik dua. Kalau semicolons tadi itu titik koma. Nah, colons can be used in the sentence after an introduction, in references, times, and titles, and then to introduce a quotation. But the first, after an introduction. As you can see in the example, and the last is a dash. Dash have 5 use. The first one is to show range with times and dates, and then to extend a sentence, to mark a parenthesis like clarification, and then to credit a quotation. Actually, I already explained it more in my paper about the example of age. This is the common problems with compound sentence, include commas place. This is the wrong sentence. I was tired from working late, comma, I had to go to class anyway. The right sentence is, I was tired from working late, comma, but I had to go to class anyway. When combining sentence into a compound sentence, you need a comma before the coordinating conjunction. And this is the another use of semicolons, the conjunctive adverb. So a conjunctive adverb actually joins two sentences with a semicolons and has additional function inside the second sentence. This is the example. I had spinach, semicolons. However, comma, I love broccoli. Some common conjunctive adverbs include accordingly, also, however, furthermore, and etc. The next is about complex sentence. What is complex sentence? A complex sentence is a sentence that contains one independent clause and one or two dependent clause. Nah, apa itu independent clause dan apa itu dependent clause? Independent clause adalah inti atau induk kalimat, sudah membentuk kalimat lengkap dan dapat berdiri sendiri. Tapi kalau dependent clause ini belum menjadi sebuah kalimat lengkap. Dependent clause ini biasanya didahului dengan subordinating conjunction. This is the example of complex sentence. In use, the dependent clause is divided into 3 types: adverbial clause, noun clause, and then adjective clause. And I will explain the adverbial clause, and the next will be explained by my partner. What is adverbial clause? Adverbial clause is dependent clause which function as an adverb and gives information about verb, adjective, and also adverb. adverbial clauses is related with subordinated conjunction. Jadi gabungan adverbial clause dan independent clause itu disebut complex sentence. This is the rules that you have to remember. This is the example of complex sentence with adverbial clause of time. She was cleaning the kitchen when she found so much expired food. Nah, jadi kalau misalkan adverbial clause-nya ini ada di belakang kalimat at the end of the sentence, itu kita tidak perlu menaruh koma di kalimatnya. Kalau adverbial clause-nya ini ada di depan at the beginning of the sentence, so we must put the comma after the adverbial clause. Like the second example. Okay, about the noun clause and the adjective clause will be explained by my partner, Hayy Rahman.
I wanted to explain about noun clause. What is a noun clause? Noun clause is a definite clause that functions as a noun. Because it functions as a noun, the noun clause can function as a component of sentence such as subject, object of a verb, object of preposition, and subject complement, and can be replaced with the pronoun it. Characteristic of a noun clause differs different of other sentence in a front of or behind it to have meaning different of clause. The second has its own of subject and verb, and then a function as a noun in the sentence begin with a noun clause marker question or word if a whether or that tips of noun clause subject noun clause. Example, whether going or returning is the choice you must take. Object noun clause. Example, she always overthink what people say about her. Complement noun clause. Example, the cat with fur is so soft are usually the Angora family. And the last, object of preposition noun clause. Example, I will fight for what I'm sure it's the real truth. Clause comes after the subject. My sister who is live with know a lot about car. My mother's house, which I grew up in, is a very small. Clause comes after the object. Yesterday I called our friend Julie, who lives in New York. Last week I bought a new computer, which I don't like now. The component of an adjective clause differs. The relative pronoun is a that. Example, that John saw yesterday, and the second the subject and the verb, the John or saw, and the third the information about the noun being modified rat. Noun clause, defining and non-defining. Defining a relative clause, adjective clause that do not require and command are called essential or restrictive or identifying. And defining a relative clause, for example, my brother who lives in Birmingham is a beginner. This adjective clause. Non-defining relative clause, adjective clause that require command and called non-semantical or non-restrictive or non-defining. For example, my brother who lives in Birmingham is an engineer. This sentence means My brother is an engineer. He lives in Birmingham. He only have one brother. Adjective clause. This is relative clause. An adjective clause is a definite clause that modifies a noun. It describes, identifies, or gives a further information about a noun. An adjective clause is also called a relative clause.
Okay, that's all about our presentation. We're very sorry if there are so many mistakes in our video and in our explanation about this material. I hope you can understand it, and I hope this can be useful for us. Thank you so much for your nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.